today's video we're going to go over everything you need to know about limestone. We're going to be talking about a lot of different topics, and in this video hopefully you guys will be able to progress limestone much easier. So let's get started. But first, a word from our sponsor. Are you guys trying to set up your own Unturned servers but you don't know where to start? Then Pine Hosting has you covered. Pine Hosting is very user friendly and not hard at all to master. I literally had no idea how to do anything, but with Pine Hosting's navigation and super easy interface, I learned the basics very shortly. They have locations all around the world, cheap pricing, and they also offer a variety of games, not just for Unturned. They have other game servers such as Minecraft, Ark, Project Zomboid, and much more. My favorite feature from Pine Hosting is the plugin and workshop installer. With just a simple click, you guys can install certain plugins. Make sure to use code LDG for 30% off, and let's get straight into the video. So this video will be split into multiple categories, the first category being basics and tips and tricks. So the first tip we have is that you can actually sprint while you are using any weapon. Currently we're using the Quake, you're still sprinting, which is actually really cool, but obviously the recoil will be higher. Now melees against zombies are actually really weak, they don't really give out a lot of damage, but obviously it depends on which melee you're using. Fishing in different areas do give different loot. So for example, if you're fishing in a pond, you get different loot than if you're fishing in a lake. And in order to get yourself a fishing rod, you would need to craft it. In order to craft it, you would need a bone hook, nylon rope, and metal parts. And in order to get a bone hook, you would need 5 bones. All medical items heal by time, so if you pop a reg, you won't get the HP instantly, but you will get it by time. As you guys may see right now, then it's increasing. It was at 61. And now it's at 68%. In order to craft dressings, you would require a medical kit and 2 bandages. You can also just use a medical kit, this will give you HP as well. This will give you 25 HP over time with 10 HP instantly, and it also heals broken bones. You can find yourself refillable bottles and you would be able to refill them at any time. Obviously you would need a water source. Now they are quite clean, they do not give you any radiation. Depends where you get the water from. So a PDA is a GPS and a compass in one. You can equip this, you can scrap it, and it will go back into GPS and compass, and then you can craft it again. So research points are given to you when you read tech ammo guides. Now these then are later used on NPCs. You would get yourself 150 XP with this as well. And with the NPCs, you would be able to craft yourself and unlock more recipes. You can get yourself XP from different items as well, such as books, newspapers, or any other book you will find. Each one of them has different XP. Largest backpack is a rucksack. Craft yourself a rucksack, you would need to get yourself either a rifle bag or a coyote pack, and then with cargo pouches and nylon rope, you would be able to craft yourself rucksacks. In this map, you can also craft yourself a lot of stacked items, such as stack of cloth, stack of metal, stack of casings, basically everything, stack of gunpowder, and a lot more. And most of these items are also placeable. Now tape is important to craft yourself pouches. Now you can craft yourself tape with getting glue and cloth, and with a few other items such as leather and rope, you would be able to craft yourself cargo pouches. Now these pouches later on are used to upgrade your backpacks. Now you can also get yourself a cooking pot. Basically what these cooking pots are is that if you click down here, it's used as a workstation, you would see yourself more recipes. For example, you would be able to craft yourself raspberry juice with 5 raspberries. And basically food crafting is the cooking pot. In this map, when you're playing with your friends, you don't actually see your teammates' names or DUI, and you can also give them team damage. So make sure that you know where your teammates are, unless you accidentally kill them. So a generator battery eco is used to craft yourself generators. These can be found across the map. As for battalion batteries, these are used in order to craft yourself the death hand system, pump jacks, and wireless sentry turret, which are really important for endgame. Now with an attachment box, you can place this and then later you can destroy it, and this will drop you a bunch of attachments. The same thing can be done with a stomach. You can just place it, destroy it, and you get yourself some loot. Obviously the loot is, not really strong, but you can still get yourself some good loot. Some metal, some cloth, and some blue herb. Obviously then there's the larger one. So if you get yourself a large animal stomach, you are probably going to get better loot. Yeah, we got ourselves a battery, for example. Now those were the little tips that I had. Obviously there are a lot more. This map is actually really insane. But let's get to the important stuff. So in the map you can find across yourself bunkers, and in these bunkers you can actually raid them. Now something is important to remember is that every single bunker always has a claim pod, meaning that you cannot use breaching charges. You can mainly use demolition charges, and inside, as you may see, you can get yourself some pretty good loot. Over here these are actually landmines, so be very careful that you do not step on them. But if you keep raiding them, then you would be able to get yourself much more better loot. And there's actually not just one bunker. There are 2 bunkers, the other one being over here where I'm currently showing. As you may see, you can get some really good loot. You can always get yourself a claim pod as well. So that's an easy claim flag for you. And obviously you can just take over the bunker yourself after that. And another place to remember is also you can do this at the dam. So over here at the dam, you can also take it completely over. You can just literally jump straight down here. If you are lucky enough and come here first, then you would be able to take it over. Obviously, you do require quite a lot to actually fully take it over, but it is 100% worth it. So now let's talk about trading. So firstly, we have ourselves a mining charge, which gives 1700 raiding damage. But this can only be used if the base that you're raiding is unclaimed. Craft yourself a demolition charges. It's quite easy. All you require is explosives, GPS, electronics, and a battery. And you require advanced crafting. And then you can also switch that demolition charge into a breaching charge with glue and detonator. Obviously, you require advanced crafting. Now, in this map, there's also a few raiding guns. First of all, we have ourselves the Echo, which you would obviously need to craft it. You would require an Echo barrel, Echo receiver, Echo bolt, and it's a pretty cool gun. It's one of my favorite guns of this map. Then there's also the Widowmaker, and first you would require to craft it as well. You would need the Widowmaker receiver, Widowmaker internals, Widowmaker scope module, and targeting module. Then there's also the Attrition, and in order to get yourself the Attrition ammo, you would require explosives, stack of casings, metal, and advanced crafting, which this is a basic grenade launcher. It's one of my favorite raiding methods of this map. Next, let's talk about building. So building, you don't require pillars when you're building yourself a base, as you guys may see right now. You don't require any of that. Now, an important tool is the hacksaw. So with a hacksaw, you would be able to craft yourself metal buildables back into the metal, or if you had wooden buildables back into the original amount of wood that you had. Now, in order to craft yourself a bedroll, it's quite easy. All you would require is 5 cloth. The strongest storage is this, which is the industrial metal crates. These have 2050 HP with 200 slots, but cannot be locked. So anyone can literally just get everything inside. But then there's also the normal metal crates. Now, these metal crates, they are obviously smaller, but the good thing about this is that they are locked. So nobody, except for people in your group, would be able to see what's inside. Something that is super important are advanced tools. So advanced tools, you would require them in order to craft yourself certain items, including adamantine buildables, metal buildables, and reinforced gates and all of that. Door handles are super important for you to actually build yourself your first door. In order to craft this, you would require crafting 1 stack of metal titanium board or toolbox, or you can find these quite easily in construction areas. So I recommend that you just find it rather than wasting all of this in order to craft yourself a door handle, unless it is very, very necessary. So a rewire kit is probably one of the most important items as well. With this, you would be able to craft yourself a bunch of good items, such as you would be able to switch the demo charge into a breaching charge. You'd be able to craft yourself the death hand system, sentries, and basically a lot more. So basically what a death hand system is it's a pretty crazy sentry, and when it spots any hostiles, it would just literally kill it instantly, but the only problem is that it can kill you as well. Now this can be raided by heavy weapons only, meaning that you can't just punch it down. Now, in order to craft yourself metal buildables, all you would require is crafting 1 and structure crafting and stack of metal. As for wood buildables, all you would just need is just wood. Literally, that's all you require. Now, keep in mind, on this map, you don't get any hit marks, but you are still chopping down trees. And from there, you would get yourself trunks. And the trunks, you would just craft it into wood, and you would get yourself wood. The only important thing is that you would require a hammer as well. So when you're building a wooden base, make sure that you have yourself a hammer. As for when you have adamantine bars, you would be able to craft yourself adamantine buildables. You would require crafting 3 and advanced structure crafting. Now, let's talk about the crowbars. Now, around the map, you can find yourself crowbars, which these are actually really important. Do not just randomly click them in front of nowhere, because that basically you just wasted it. Now, one of my favorite locations to use this crowbar is over here next to Shady Hollow. All you would need to do is just go to this door, open it, and down here you would find yourself a pretty cool place. Down here, basically, it is a underground Zaza weed station, but again, you can find yourself some pretty good loot, including more crowbars. There's a few zombies as well. Make sure that when you go down here, you have like a flashlight or a headlamp or night vision or any of that. But obviously, this is some of the loot that you can get from down here. Across the map, then, you can also find other locations, such as over here, where we are currently up here. You can find these. You would be able to open them, which I didn't look at it correctly. So basically, I didn't look at it correctly, so it was a waste. So that's not really good. But if you have to look at it directly, and you can get yourself some good loot. You can get yourself like grenades. You can also get yourself some other important loot, such as mining charges, and a lot more. We also have ourselves a milling machine. Now what a milling machine is you use it to craft yourself ammo. So when you place this down, you get yourself a new workstation, and you would unlock a bunch of recipes. Now something else that is super important is a military keycard. Now you can find these in military locations or in the dead zone, and across the map you probably have noticed that there are locked containers. Now in these locked containers, basically you would just get yourself more loot, and these military keycards are not a one-time use only. So that means that you can just have one in your inventory and literally use it all the time. So we just opened here, and you obviously just get more loot. There are a lot of locations where you can actually use this military keycard. Pretty sure there's like almost every single tunnel that you find, there's one location that has it. So for example, in this tunnel, there's another container that you can get into. There's also containers inside the dead zone itself. For example, over here we have this container. Obviously, zombies can actually follow you, and I am actually going to die, because these zombies are crazy. Next, let's go over the dead zone. Now, the dead zone is all the way down here. As soon as you see a map, you can easily see where it is. Now, you would just require a gas mask on this map. You don't require anything else. And it's not really that hard to get yourself a gas mask and filters either. Around the map, you may notice yourself that there are certain zombies wearing a gas mask, and those zombies actually do have a higher chance to drop a gas mask. But you can also get it from airdrops. They are quite common from airdrops as well. Now, as you may notice, there's also different types of filters. There are Chinese filters, but they are basically filters, but they are lower quality, meaning that they will die out quicker. But obviously, gas mask filters are better. Now, in this dead zone, it is quite big, and there's actually unmarked areas where, in order for you to get to there, you would require to get yourself a bunch of titanium bolts, which honestly, it's a really big grind. So it's like the ultimate final end game in order to get it. And that zone can be quite rewarding. As I mentioned earlier, there's areas where you'd require a military keycard, which is really important. From here, you can get yourself rewire kits. You can get yourself detonators. You can get yourself some pretty decent loot. It's not really a small dead zone as well. It goes quite large. We just killed this zombie, for example. This guy dropped 5 vipers by the looks of it. I do have high loot drops though, obviously, but the fact that he dropped every single item was a gun. Over here we have some other loot that you can get. You can get the generators, you can get compact silence kit, which basically what these are is that you can silence your weapons. But I do think that the Rocky Mountain call works. You get better loot in general inside the dead zone. Since this, you basically get military zombies over here as well. Obviously, I do recommend that you get yourself a gun when you do this dead zone run. And a lot of ammo, because these zombies, as you guys have not noticed, they are very, very, very strong. But you can get some good loot. Now we got ourselves a Quake there, for example. Rifle ammo boxes. Be careful in this dead zone as well, because there are landmines around. Over here we got ourselves a military keycard area. Yeah, this zombie dropped a tech ammo guide and a stack of explosives and the deto, so it's pretty good loot, and a bunch of attachments as well. Over here, wow, we got absolutely nothing. All right. Now also you can get yourself a crowbar, and there's another location that you can unlock. And over here is the titanium keystones that we need. So when you use them and you place them, now these titanium keystones are basically titanium blocks, and then you unstack them. Titanium framework, there are a lot of titanium. There are a lot of titanium. In my opinion, I do think that it is a bit too much, actually. Too much grind. But you would require 3 of them. And you basically place them around in the dead zone. Now, as I was talking about here, if you get yourself a crowbar, you would be able to unlock this area. And in here, you can get yourself some good loot. Another thing that I didn't mention is that these ammo boxes, you can actually break them. You can melee them, obviously. And they drop some good loot. So, always break them no matter where you are. They are obviously ammo boxes. You will only get ammo from them. But obviously, I recommend to break them every single time. Now, in here, we have another crowbar location, which it's a pretty good location as well. As you may see, you can get yourself more empty mags, more ammo, more tech ammo guides. You can just spam them. Empty mags are important as well, because with them you are able to craft yourself certain ammo. You can get yourself attachments from inside here as well. Over here there's another military keycards truck as well, which, wow, there's 1 ammo box. Oh, it opens quite quickly. Now in the dead zone there's also this location as well, which is unmarked. It's a tunnel area. There's another crowbar that you can use. And then inside, there's even more crowbars that you can use. This can drop some pretty good loot. There we go. Yeah, we got ourselves a mining charge, for example. But over here, you can't really get anything specifically special, since it's mostly a construction area. Next, let's talk about airdrops. So airdrops, basically they can have some pretty good loot. Most importantly, you can get yourself advanced tools, ammo attachments, stacks of items such as gunpowder. You can also get yourself nylon rope, filters, and explosive, and night vision. Currently, I just spawned in a billion of them. They are quite loud. And obviously, they do spawn all across the map. They are very loud, actually. Damn. In today's video, I also want to give a shout out to Game of Thrones Winter is Coming. In this game, you have the unique opportunity to take part in the battle for the Iron Throne as a lord, where you take over one of the settlements of Westeros. By your side, you have the Red Priestess to help you. If you guys are interested to check out the game, I will have the link in the description below. It is a browser game, and it is completely free. And let's continue the video. So, the last topic we're going to talk about is the Horde beacons. Now, Horde beacon, called the Beacon of the Horde on this map, you can get yourself a lot of different items. In order to craft this, you would require military transceivers, walkie-talkies, gold bar, stack of electronics, steel reinforcement, welding torch, and a hammer. Now, these can be placed basically in most zombie areas. For example, one location that I really like is over here. Now, in terms of loot, they can drop some pretty good loot though. I just died instantly. Now, this is the type of loot that you can get from it. You can get the highest percentage chance is a concrete bag with 16%. And some other important items is there's explosives, stack of explosives, motor oil, certain guns, safes, ammo. You can get yourself the echo parts, and you can get yourself a bunch of ammunition as well. Honestly, it's not really that good loot. I do understand that the titanium framework may be the best items that you can get. You do get 17 rewards, and there's 75 zombie waves with 650 HP. So it's kind of easy to be broken as well. But that is basically the Horde beacon. And that's it for this video, guys. I really hope that you did enjoy. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will try to answer as much of them as possible. I did try to mention the most important items in this map, but there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot. So I did try to go over the most important items. Obviously, like, don't drink battery acid like I just did. I guess that's another tip. But if you guys would like to see a full dedicated tips and tricks video where I can go over 100 tips and tricks, let me know in the comment section below as well. I am about to die to a bear now. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!